Hmm. Oh, good morning or afternoon. I'm so glad November is almost over. We're doing this thing at work. Uh, so today I want to talk about the differences when we're talking about investing and trading. Like there's a huge difference actually. So you have trading, which is basically um, technical analysis, which is where you're looking at the charts and you're looking at candles and you're looking at the behavior of everything, and then you're looking at and then to compare that with fundamental analysis, which is basically the investing side as opposed to technical analysis. So when we look at technical analysis, there's a lot of people on YouTube and Twitter and all this stuff. You can look at Peter Brandt. He's just like a legendary trader, and it's all because he's good at charts. He's good at charting. He's good at telling what the market is going to do in a short time frame, to short to medium, barely touches long term time frame of making predictions on where the price is going to go. So you have technical analysis and then you have fundamental analysis. I prefer fundamentals because I look at all this stuff as investments in the future, right? So when we're talking about digital assets or cryptocurrencies, you have to really consider a few things, right? So mostly it's really going to be, what is the value in this token or the protocol. Most value is actually in the protocol. The token is used to provide a service on that protocol. So when you think of technical analysis compared to fundamental analysis, they both have the same ends, which is, if we're talking about price increase, how do you get the price to go up? You need to have more people acquiring or buying the asset. And that is a sign of a lot of demand, right? And supply is a big part of it as well. But you need to have buy orders in order for the price to go up. If you have sell orders, more sell orders than buy orders, the price is going to probably go down. That's really, really simple. So when we're looking at fundamentals, you're looking at what is going to cause more buy orders to happen. So there has to be some sort of demand for the token. So when I look at something like XRP, it is a token that is working alongside banks. It's going against the status quo of all other digital assets up until its inception, XRP's inception. Bitcoin was basically created as like, hey, screw the banks. It came out right in the financial crisis of 2008. When the housing market collapsed and all this stuff, and these banks, they took bailouts, which are astronomically smaller bailouts than what we just saw with the coronavirus. If you look at the stimulus packages, not as small people stimulus packages, but basically like all the people that got money, us peasants, we got $1,200. Whatever. So fundamental analysis, you got to look at a few things like what problem does this token solve, or whatever. What is the value in solving that problem? That's going to help you figure out if you are going to make a really, really great return based on people actually using the blockchain and using the asset, or people just speculating on price. So, and then you have to consider if there are any competitors to that. So, and is that a place where you can park some money in that competition to hedge yourself against it? So, and not be married to the one asset. So, for instance, I have a lot of XRP, but a huge competitor to that is XLM, Stellar. So if I was smart, I would also probably hold some Stellar. It's like betting on all the horses in the race, if you will. So, I'm sorry, I'm losing my train of thought. I'm really tired. So you have to consider fundamental analysis when you're looking like broad scope, like years down the road, because I don't care about making a 2x return on my money. I don't care about making a 10x or a 100x on my money. You know, I'm trying to make the huge gains. So I have money parked in a lot of different assets that I think could go up short term based on speculation. But most likely when all this blockchain stuff really gets rolling, I believe that some of these tokens are going to appreciate because they'll be utilized. So for instance, like Ripple, you know, they have hundreds of banks signed up, banks/financial institutions, you know, signed up to use this tech, which creates a demand for XRP because it has to use it as the gas, you know, the middleman to facilitate these cross-border payments. So the demand in the future for XRP is going to go way up. The only problem I have with that is the supply is kind of high. So fortunately enough for us, there are a bunch of people that are, you know, locking that XRP away. So the actual circulating supply is going to be a lot lower than what you see on CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko or whatever one you choose to use website. So technical analysis, you know, there's a lot of really good dudes, really good chartists that are able to make predictions so that they can make short-term bets on the price and hopefully increase their position or, you know, take and make profit. I look at that as like a day-to-day thing, and I do watch the charts, or I watch the guys that make the charts because I'm not that smart. I watch that, and it really just gives me an idea of like what's going to happen in the short term, but that doesn't really affect my investment at all. You know, I see the dudes and they're like, hey, you know, we could see a big drop coming. You know, might want to sell here or whatever. Never. I'm not doing that. I don't care. You know, all that I care about is increasing my position, accumulating more. Luckily enough, we had a nasty 2.5 year bear market, longer than that, almost 3 years of a bear market, to just accumulate, like, you know, make your stacks really big, and while you're buying things at a discounted price, while everyone's screaming that the whole world's burning, crypto's never going to do anything and all that crap, you can, you know, grind it out. And especially for like working schmucks like us, you know, we don't have a ton of capital right away, like don't have a trust fund to throw $100 grand at something, and then, you know, when that 10x's, you know, you made $1 million off $100 grand, cool, whatever. So now that we're coming into, at least this is what the chart guys are saying, we're coming into a bull market. I guess maybe technically we're already here. So now that this is happening, basically if we're smart, we're going to reap the rewards of a 3-year bear market. So does that mean that I'm going to cash out at the top? Am I going to be able to pick the top, time the top? Probably not. Almost nobody does. So how do you go about, you know, executing these sell orders or whatever? You basically have to pick a price point that you're happy with, and, you know, when the price reaches there, initiate your sell order, sell the asset. You don't have to sell all of it either. I mean, shoot, you can sell down to, you know, a half of an XRP, which is going to be like 30 cents worth. You could sell that. Why? I don't know. You would want to do that, but because you'd be owing 30% on capital gains if you 2x. So pick your price that you want to sell. And my advice is, if you're going to sell your whole bag, like, and you don't plan on buying back in, like you're like, hey, you know, I made enough money to buy a new dirt bike. You want to sell it all. Don't look back. You're going to kick yourself in the butt. So many people in 2013, 14, 15, 16, they sold their Bitcoin, and then it went up to 20 grand from like a couple $100. And they just like hate themselves for it. I'm like, dude, who freaking cares? Like, you did that. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. So, not that I'm even talking to those people, but so technical analysis, fundamental analysis, that's, short term, long term, really, and there's a huge difference between the two. So when I talk, most of the things that I talk about is I don't do any technical analysis. I am not going to buy or sell a certain asset because some dude, or even myself, if I was trying to do it, some dude was like, hey man, the market's going to do this, like whatever, I don't care. So technical analysis, I mean, you got to look at also the difference between crypto and stocks. Like, the news is going to affect stocks. News doesn't really affect crypto. I've seen some mega announcements for certain blockchains and protocols, and make huge partnerships, and it doesn't move the market at all. So it's kind of like, well, how are we going to increase this price? How is the price going to go up? And the answer is, so you have to have more buy orders and sell orders. Simple as that. So if you're on the lookout in crypto for like announcements, only do that to validate your investment, to confirm it. If you're like me, you're always researching more into stuff I've already invested in, really just looking for more validation and confirmation bias that what I did was a good decision, So I do a lot of that. And I don't know, makes me feel good, I guess. But I always be looking for what's next. So if once you hit your accumulation points, move on to the next asset so that you can diversify. So some people, they make a lot of money going all in, and some people believe in that. I don't know. I've never made a ton of money in crypto yet. So, because, I got into it when the market was down. So we'll see what happens in the future. Just remember, I believe in fundamentals. So if you ask me about what I think the price is going to do, I mean, honestly, I don't know. I literally don't know. But I can tell you that I believe in the future we're going to see certain levels of adoption of these cryptocurrencies, and through that there will be a demand increase, which is going to drive the price. How high is it going to go? I don't know. You can ask me and I'll just tell you, I don't know. I believe, I will say that I believe that XRP could, in the future, I don't know how many years down the road, but be valued well over $1,000. I personally believe that because the value, because of the problem that it solves and how much demand it's going to create. If they capture a certain part of the market share in the interbank transfers, cross-border payments, all that stuff. So I believe that it could go there. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm, not giving financial advice. Don't buy or sell anything based on what I say, because that is not a good idea. But think for yourself, and look into it. Look into it. In the description, I will. I'll drop a list of all the projects that I think would be worth looking into. Doesn't mean that I've sank money into all these, but if I had enough money, I would be sinking it into all these, at least to get a pretty substantial position. So I'm not going to tell you which ones I have, but I'll tell you what I would if I had enough money, if that makes sense. So, and if you want to send me a message and ask me what I actually have, that's fine. Like, I'll tell you. I'm not gonna tell you how much, because that's between me and my wife. So